fun back into this whole journey for ourselves, the process, and be serious about our fun. Not only be serious about how fun the process can be, but not allow the challenging dynamics of us following our hearts and going back down a righteous path towards what our self inner knowing is leading us to, in order for us to get back to our root core values and our sense of self-worth and our sense of almost like ancestry. And it's like a tribal vibe with Taurus, with the North Node being in Taurus. So that's where we're kind of like leading to. So the release point for this T-square is just knowing that we need to get serious about, you know, this process being fun and being honest, sincere within our own selves, and allowing for that sincerity and that ability to really be honest, because with the honesty comes the sense of confidence and courage with Leo to move towards that North Node, and having the passion and the drive to have our truth, our spiritual beliefs, our higher education, our higher educational pursuits, to give us almost like the common sense on a higher level, a higher scale, to individualize and personify our own uniqueness and our own skills, and almost validate our own selves in the world, so we feel as if we're contributing not only to ourselves but to humanity. And we're also getting back to, you know, our North Node in Taurus, that lesson of examining our family ties, our roots, our ancestry, where we came from, and how that made us the person we are today, and how we can kind of use our own experience and our own family ties and our bloodline, and how we were raised and influenced and brought up, and how that can create this value within ourselves and can ultimately take us out of some sort of stagnation regarding this sense of unclarity of not remembering where we came from or who we are, or how the past has made us who we are at this point, so we can move forward with strength and courage and that drive from Mars, the energy. It'll give us energy to want to get really serious about this journey that we're embarking upon, but we still can make it a fun process, and it doesn't have to be grueling. So those are the two T-squares. And now the other aspects that I'm seeing are, so we have a trine. Let's see. The moon is making a trine to Jupiter, and also Jupiter is sextiling the sun. So we have a nice, beautiful little conversation with, let's see. It's like Jupiter and the moon with this trine, Gemini and Aquarius. It's almost kind of making the conversations a little bit lighter, even the inner dialogue, and it's taking some of the tension off that is caused by these T-squares. So I feel like even though with the T-squares and with the full moon capacity of feeling heightened in our senses and our irritability, there's this sense where we have this this internal feeling of having having some, it's almost like some really peaceful communications that are the right words, are the right gestures, that make sense out of what we're experiencing with this full moon. So I feel like this trine between the moon and Jupiter is definitely highlighting where communication that could result, almost, and the gestures that you may have with yourself or other people, it can take the edge off of the rest of the more challenging energies and aspects. So it's almost going to be like, let's just use, if you're debating with somebody about something, it's going to be a debate where it's it has a sense of purpose, and it is almost feeding into our emotions in a good way by how we're speaking, what we're speaking about, the topic, and the gestures that we're bouncing back and forth off of each other, or just that inner dialogue if it's with yourself. So that's a good thing. And then there is Jupiter, which is sextiling the sun, which is a sextile. It's a energy that can, you know, come with ease depending on what else is involved. But since it's involved with the full moon, it might be slightly discomforting. So I want to say that Jupiter may intensify and almost just make things more bigger than they need to be. So depending on what's going on, it definitely has something to do with everything Sagittarian related, and our sense of our essence with the sun, and how it correlates with our inner desires and our, almost like our soul's mission. So, you know, I think that, you know, Jupiter can definitely make it more of a responsibility, with it being in Aquarius, a Saturn ruled sign. So that's why, you know, the sextile, it could go either way, but since it's connected with the full moon, I'm sensing that Jupiter is making it more of a more challenging aspect, because it's putting a lot more pressure on our soul's, you know, journey, mission, that inner path that we have to take sometimes, where we're in the hermit mode, you know, to do a little soul searching. So that's just what I see with that aspect. And then we have, let's see, what else? And then we have the moon square Neptune. So, you know, the moon in Gemini square Neptune in Pisces. This is us trying to really understand and feel out our dreams and our visions, and how that can be communicated and expressed, but ultimately how we can really internalize it and how we can make better sense out of it with our intuition and our emotions and our feelings involved. Because I feel like, you know, with this square, Gemini, the moon it's like the moon squaring Neptune in Pisces with Gemini. We're trying to communicate exactly, even to ourselves, we're trying to think about what we, what's our wish fulfillment and how we can go about making our dreams happen, and how that sounds, how that can be manifest into the reality, and how we can actually just actualize it in regards to trying to get a better understanding of the tools that we have, as far as our thoughts and how we communicate and how we can